Hi, and in this tutorial, we're going to show you how to leverage DocuSign Rooms with API Nation's Webhooks app to push DocuSign's created transactions into Slack. So we're going to head off to DocuSign. We're going to go ahead and select DocuSign as our first app. We'll then select Webhooks from the Choose App for Sync option. And what I want to do is go ahead and use the DocuSign Rooms send webhook. That means anytime a room is created, we're going to send a webhook. So we'll go ahead and click on Activate here. And the way that we're going to set this up is first off, select your account. If you haven't made a connection, go ahead and do so now. I'm going to select my existing account here first. And then for the webhook, what we need to do is go ahead and create a connection. Now, this is an outbound webhook because we're going to be sending data to a server for Slack. So to obtain where we're going to plug that in, let's head over to api.slack.com/apps. And first off, you'll be asked to create an app. I've already done so already though, so I'm going to go ahead and just go into my room already, or my app of which I've created. And I'm going to use incoming webhooks over here from the features dropdown. Now, once you're in here, it's as simple as clicking Add New Webhook to Workspace. It's going to bring up this screen. And then we're gonna just bring up my test channel here, and we're gonna go ahead and allow. So now that we've got that connected, we're gonna go ahead and copy the URL. So here's the URL, and head into API Nation's dashboard, select outbound, and then we're gonna label this DocuSign Slack messages. And then in the webhook URL, we're gonna go ahead and paste that. Leave all of these set to how they are. We don't need to mess with them, and we don't need any authentication because that's all in the URL provided by Slack already. So we're gonna generate this webhook. I'm gonna select my office spaces. So if I want all office spaces, main office, whatever it might be, you'll go ahead and select it. So once this loads, I'll do that. So we'll select it. There's my office. And then we're going to go ahead and select profile as well. So all offices, and then a date. So you'll use the date picker over here. It's the easiest. So we'll go ahead and say, go backwards a little bit, right? So we'll say from the 13th, and we'll click subscribe. Now, all you need to do for this scenario, if you're making a DocuSign to webhooks connection for Slack, is in the mapping section. This is where you're gonna map all the data of which you want to send to that Slack channel. So once this loads, I'll go ahead and put in my value. So we'll add a value here, which you'll wanna name this text. Be very cautious not to hit spacebar here or add any unwanted spaces. So we'll go ahead and click Add Custom Field. And now I can put in my message that I want to send to Slack. So I'm going to say something like a new transaction was just created for, and then over here off to the right, we have the add value section. So we'll go ahead and say the room name. Most times in DocuSign, you'll use the room name in conjunction with the address, meaning the address will be the room name. And you can add some additional text here if you want to, right? So we'll do that. So I've gone ahead and added some simple text. Now we're done. All we got to do is go up to the top and click Activate Sync. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and label this. So we'll say DocuSign to Slack, and I'm going to say demo just for labeling purposes. I'm going to go ahead and activate that sync. Now let me head into my DocuSign Room account, and let's go ahead and just copy a room so I can test this. So let's label this one to main Arcadia Park. We'll go ahead and copy it. Now, the sync runs every 15 minutes, so you don't have to rush through this unless you're gonna go ahead and sync it now. So we'll go ahead and edit some of these fields. Right, so we'll say Main Street. We could say things like earnest money of $3,000, $3,200, first American title, all looks good, right? So you could fill in all these fields as you see fit. So now I'm gonna head and click Save. Head over into API Nation's dashboard, click Sync now to run this so I can show you how it works. So it's running and processing, and now I have my message. So a new transaction was just created for 1232 Arcadia Park. Earnest money will be held by a First American title in the amount of $3,200. There you go. You just created a DocuSign to webhook sync with Slack. Have a great day.